In this video, I'm going to show you how to conduct a strategy call or a sales call with your potential clients. Now, these calls are very important because they present an opportunity for you to meet up with the client online. You present yourself as an expert, you ask them different questions so that you can understand the challenges that they're facing in their business, and then you then can pitch your services to them. Now, normally you don't need to do a call if you're charging something like $100 or $150, those low ticket prices. But if you're charging $1,000 or more, normally clients will want to at least know who they're going to be giving their money to. They want to kind of experience you so that they know, like, and trust you, trusting that you are the type of person who actually can help them to deliver what you are promising. So this call is just designed to help you to get that opportunity to present them to them and then pitch to them. So normally I like to start off with a pre-meeting checklist, and these are things that you just need to make sure that they are in place. Firstly, prospect must be qualified. You want to make sure that you're not dealing with $100 clients and yet you're trying to sell $1,000 services. And a simple, easy way to make sure that is done in your call booking page, where people actually book a call with you. Make sure that you mention something like, this is how much your services begin from, so that you can get a measure of whether people are willing to pay that or they're not. And in fact, I'll talk about it in another future video on how to actually set up your call booking page. Another thing is research has been conducted. In other words, before you get on a call with a client, you actually want to do some research to find out, okay, what do they do in their business? Who are their target clients? Who are their competitors? How are other competitors out there reaching out and getting clients from a website, so that you can have knowledge and understanding? Look presentable. You don't want to get onto a call and then maybe you are having some beers, there are beers in the background, maybe you're scruffily dressed. You don't have to be dressed up formally, but you just want to be presentable such that your attire or your background doesn't disqualify you. And then have tools to present screenshots. In other words, you have to be willing to make a presentation, like it can be a slide deck, can be a Google document like I'm using here, or anything that just is presentable to for you to present the facts that you're going to be talking about. And then lastly, you want to be psyched up. You don't want to be boring. You don't want to be dead. You don't want to sound like you are scared. Even if it's your first time having a client call, I'd normally recommend that maybe you practice by yourself first, but make sure that when you get on that call, you're actually going to be psyched up. Then, when it comes to the actual call, you're going to be going through three different processes. The first one is going to be discovery. Then the second one is going to be for you to present. And then the third one is going to be for you to close. And I'm just going to explain what all these mean right now. And also, just to let you know, you'll be able to download this document in the description of this video. So don't worry about taking notes. You can actually just get into the document and read directly from the document as I'm going through it. So what do we mean when we say discover? You want to start off the conversation firstly by on being on a light note, just maybe giving them an icebreaker. Normally, what I would do is I would ask them, okay, where are you from? And then I find something nice to talk about. Like if someone tells me that they're from England, I ask them, oh, what's your favorite team? My team is Manchester United. Please don't tell me you support Liverpool. Just something funny as an icebreaker. So wherever location they are from, you can use that as an icebreaker, or find something else. But start off on a light note so that you can show them that you are human, you are lighthearted, and you're someone fun to work with. And then from there, and then here I just give you a couple of different examples of that. From there, I then say something like, so I want to start this meeting by learning a bit more about your business. I need to understand where you are currently at, and then I can dive into how I can help you. So is it okay if I ask you a couple of questions? Then I wait for them to respond and say yes, then cool. Then I start asking them questions. The point of these questions is for you to gather ammunition, or to gather, what can I say, background into how you can sell your services. So what I mean is, like, you're going to be asking them these different questions so that you can understand what challenges are they facing in their business that you can solve by building a website for them. So that when you're presenting your website design services, you're just basically saying, okay, firstly, you mentioned this is the challenge. Like, you are failing, you're not getting people are not able to find your location because you're not online. So we can solve that by setting up a website, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so just continue reading through that. But then I also give you like a couple of different examples of some questions that you might want to ask. For example, can you describe your business and what you do in a few sentences, right? They give you that background. What are your primary products and services? What challenges are you currently facing in attracting new customers? Now, this is very important because some of the things that we set up on websites have to do with helping them get new customers. So you want to take note of what they are currently doing and what they are currently not doing. Just turning off something right here by the side. My heater is getting a bit too hot. It's quite cold where I'm at right now. But yeah, basically you're just going to be going through all these different questions, and you don't have to ask all of them. You only look for the ones that are most relevant, that will give you a bit more clarity into them and their business. That will just help you to know how to actually pitch your own services. Okay. Are you familiar with the benefits of a well-designed website? Ask them like to maybe just walk you through like, okay, what do they understand about a website, so that you gain the level that they're at. Another important question, I was looking for it here, but I can't seem to find it, but it's somewhere in here where you ask them, okay, you having a new website, what does success look like to you? What, in other words, what are you wishing your website will be able to help you to achieve? Then they start listing those things down, and then you're just simply there taking notes. These things will help you to know, okay, this is how I should pitch my service. Then after that, you then move on to the present section, whereby you're like, okay, cool. Thanks for answering those questions. So just to give you a bit of feedback on how we tend to work, right? And then you start going through your presentation. First of all, starting off with competitor comparison. Because you've done your research before, you start showing them that, okay, I did research on your industry, and these are the top competitors in the city where you're competing with. You start going through their websites, you start talking about what they're doing well on their websites, how they're getting their own clients. And then you're just giving this client insight into some of the things that they should actually be doing in doing on their own website. Then you're going to start doing like a comparison, like, okay, so this competitor versus this other competitor, these are the different things that they're doing, and this is what they can actually do to improve. Make sure that you're always complimenting first before you just start maybe criticizing that, no, this website is bad, blah 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 blah. Talk about like the things that they are doing well that your potential client will also need to implement, right? So you're just doing this comparison on all these different competitors. And then the law of authority. Then you start educating them that, okay, in order for you to be successful, these are the things that you need to get set up. And then you'll be explaining that from a website design perspective. For example, you need to build a lead magnet that people can sign up and join your newsletter. Your newsletter, the point of it is not just to send out people for information, but to have people that you can actually educate and promote about your products. You need to have like a form where people can enter their contacts, and then you can WhatsApp them directly. All the benefits that you're going to be having from a website, you're just basically educating these people, and you're doing it in a way that wows them to a point whereby they feel like, man, this guy really knows a lot, and this guy is the person I really needed to be talking to. If you can, like from previous results that you've got, maybe for other clients, you show them that, okay, this is what we were able to do when we set this up for this client. You're just basically wowing them, right? So now when they're wowed, they're like, wow, and they're excited that, wow, I didn't know that websites really could do that. Then you come to the close where you're like, do you have any questions for me at this stage? This is very important because, excuse me, because you want to understand if they've got any questions or any challenges or any things that they're thinking about. Yeah, like, so how does like a newsletter work? Then you answer whatever questions that you have. It shows that you're knowledgeable. And number two, you're preparing them for when you tell them how much it's going to cost. They don't have any questions anymore. They're confident that you're the person who can help them. Okay, then we come to the close. So based on everything we've discussed, do you believe that I understand the issues that you are facing? Right? Then you wait for a response. Yeah, it sounds like you really understand this whole thing. Do you think that I have the skills to help you solve these issues? Yeah, definitely. Okay, shall we proceed to the next step? This is just like a way of transitioning. What I would normally say, maybe that's a bit shorter than this, is like, okay, based on everything that we have spoken about, I work with clients who are just like you, and I help them to achieve. I mentioned the outcome that I help them to achieve. Would you be interested in seeing what it would look like to work with me if I was to help you with this? I wait for permission. They say yes. Then I say, okay, cool. Then I start explaining, okay, at my agency, this is what we do. I just explain that, okay, this is the service that we offer, and then these are the results that we get. And then I go on to mention the price. That, okay, so our service costs, and I mentioned the cost. Let's say maybe I say that this is going to cost us $3,500 to be able to build your website like this. Once I've said that, I just keep quiet, right? I go quiet, and then I look at them and I wait for a response. Why is this important? Because you want to be, first of all, confident in the price that you are offering your clients. Number two, you want to wait and see their response. Are they okay with paying that, or are they the people who are going to start complaining about the price, and maybe they're looking for a cheaper price? If you allow yourself to just be quiet and let them respond, three things happen. Number one, oh, the price is 3.5. Okay, cool. That's good. I was thinking it's going to cost a bit more. It tells you that next time you need to increase your prices. But anyway, cool. You then can immediately sign them up for that 3.5, and hey, you now got your client. Number two, maybe they start saying, okay, well, I'll think about it and then I'll get back to you. Normally, when someone says, I'll think about it and I'll get back to you, it's not necessarily that they don't have the money. Sometimes it's because you did not clarify enough on something. So they've got some questions in their mind, or they've got some objections that you need to handle. In fact, I'm going to do another video very soon, and I'll just put it up here when it's now ready. But it's going to be about how to handle the different objections that people have. So you need to then figure out, okay, where you're saying that you are going to get back to me later. Is there a question that you might have? Because as you are thinking about it, the only person who can answer those questions directly is me, as I've shown you that I know this stuff very well. So this will be the best time for you to ask. Then you're just trying to get them to tell you, okay, what's the real issue? What's the real question that they have in their heads so that you can answer it and then come back to, okay, so are you ready to proceed with the 3.5? And then we move forward. Okay, then the third type of response that you might get is they might openly tell you that, hey, man, that's just very expensive and I can't afford it. There are two ways that you can approach this. Number one, you can just end the call and say, no, that's fine, no problem. Wish you all the best. Or maybe refer them to someone else who might be cheaper or something. That's option one. Number two, option two might be, okay, you're saying that it's a bit pricey. Is it because you don't have the money upfront to pay it like that? What about if we broke it down into different payment installments? You keep quiet and let them respond. Okay, yeah, that sounds better. What do you have in mind? Okay, cool. We've got two options. We've got two options of you can pay half down now, and then the other half after a month, or we can do three payments, and this is how much you're going to pay first, then second, and then third month. Then we paid over 3 months. But because it's over 3 months, the price is going to be slightly a bit above. You understand what I'm talking about? Like then you just increase it a bit, but dividing it by three. Wait for the response. If they are happy with one of those options, you immediately take payment and then they go. If they're still negotiating on those different payments, they want you to bring it down. You know that definitely, okay, that's not the best client for you to work with at that time. But yes, we'll talk about more about pricing and stuff like that in other future videos. So then, if now the person says, okay, cool, let's get on with it, I am ready. What I'd normally recommend that you do is that you, on that call, you then send them either the invoice directly on the call or the link, depending on whatever payment processor you're going to be using, and they make the payment right there, or the call. Why is it that important? Because sometimes people get distracted. If they say, okay, I'll make the payment later, you might have to wait 2 or 3 days and send them a reminder. Then something has come up. And then, hey, by that time, maybe someone else has reached out to them and offered them the same service at a cheaper price. So sometimes it's good for you to just say, that, okay, cool. Do you mind if I just send you the invoice now? Then we do it so that I can also be able to send you the email immediately with all the stuff that I would need to get started, right? Just say it in a way that makes them understand that, okay, this is a bit urgent and we can do it now. Don't try and force it. But if you can get them to sign up now, you do it. So in other words, that means that you need to be prepared. What's the payment provider you're going to be using? Or is it invoices? Or how are you going to be doing that? It would be preferably you just send them a link. They click on it. They enter their details. Payment is made, and it's just done. Simple as that. And that's what we call the onboarding process, which I'm also going to talk about in a future video. So just make sure that you look out for that. Some things that you need to consider and look into when you're preparing for this call. Know which tools you need to use. The first one is Zoom or Google Meetup. These are tools that you can use for video calls. Avoid using the phone directly because firstly, it can be very costly. But secondly, you want people to have the experience of actually looking at you and talking to you, right? It's easier to sell on a video call than it is on a direct call where they can't see you, right? When you see each other directly, it's just by far better. Number two, PowerPoint or Google Sheets. In other words, just something that you can use for presenting. You can actually create a nice presentation, save it as a PDF, and just be going through it like I'm just doing here. I'm just using the Google Doc. You can use a PowerPoint. It doesn't matter, but just make sure that the presentation looks good. Have a pen and paper to take notes by the side. And then behavioral recommendations, don't speak monotone. Monotone means that you sound boring. You sound like you really don't want to be here, like you are scared. Don't talk like that. uh, use hand gestures when you are speaking, right? Normal human beings talk like this. Robots talk like this. You don't see any expression and they just talk directly like this. Don't be a robot, right? Speak with passion and really listen to your potential customer. In other words, as much as sometimes website design can get boring, be excited about it. Be excited about their business. Wow, you're running a pet store. Wow, that's so cool. Like, one of my favorite puppies is the blah, 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 but I don't really know much about puppies. Maybe you can tell me more about it later on, and maybe I could become a customer. Who knows? But be sure that you are actually passionate about this thing that you're talking about, your website design services, and the service that they are actually offering. And the last one is smile and have fun with it. Make sure that this is something that you actually enjoy doing. Look at this business as a game, right? You know, when you're playing games, you're not angry, you're not serious, but you're having fun enjoying it, right? So treat it like a game, smile, have fun with it, enjoy the conversation. Think of it like going on a date, right? You are there to enjoy the food, right? And also enjoy the person that you're maybe just meeting for the first time. Have fun with it, and you find that way you get better results. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comment section below. But also look out for the next videos that are also going to help you more with website design. See you in the next video.